Hi, welcome to the Online Store Success Podcast. I'm your host, Jody Minto, an e-commerce coach and meta ads specialist. Each week, I share with you practical strategies to help you grow a profitable online store that runs in school hours and supports your lifestyle. Let's get into it. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Online Store Success with me, your host, Jody Minto. I'm very excited today because I have a very special guest joining us talking all things SEO. Now, full disclosure, SEO breaks my brain, as I know it does for a lot of people. And if anything, it breaks my brain even more so in the age of AI. But anyway, we will dive more into that in just a little bit. I'm so thrilled to introduce you to the beautiful Flick from Hotel SEO. Welcome, Flick.
Hi, thank
Tell
you.
us, hello. Tell us, we're going to just jump straight into it. We're going to play the two truths and a lie game. So before we even get to know who you are and talk about SEO, I want to know two truths and a lie about you. And at the end, I'm going to try and guess which one's which.
Okay, all right. I have run a marathon. I used to be a flight attendant for a royal family, or
Oh.
I do springboard diving every week.
Stop it. I actually don't know. And for everyone listening, Flick and I were in a mastermind together with the amazing Anita Seek for about a year. So I should know
Yes.
this, but I don't actually know any of those. So I can't wait to come back at the end and try and figure it out. All right, Flick, tell us a little bit about you. Where are you? Who are you? What inspired you to start your own hotel SEO agency business?
Yeah, so I'm based in Melbourne and I've got three little kids. Life is chaotic. It's full ball all the time. And after I had my second child, I wanted to career pivot and I was kind of like, what am I going to do? Don't have any formal degrees. I'm not, I just don't know. And a beautiful friend of mine had a branding agency and she said, do you want to come and work for me for a little bit? And I was like, yeah, this would be great. This is wonderful. And then my first week into the job, she said, I'd like you to do some SEO work. And I turned around to her and was like, oh my gosh, what on earth is SEO? How is this working? This is before the age of the robots and everything could tell me the answer. So, that was 2019, and I hit the ground running, learning what SEO is, how to make it work. And I was at the branding agency for a few years. Things evolved, and we both kind of went our separate ways. And I thought, well, I might as well use all this experience and try and do it on my own and do some freelance work. And it worked really well. And then here I am. I've got, a little agency, and then it works with
Amazing.
kid life and all that stuff. So yeah, it's great. It's great.
So good. And Flick does my SEO for my business as
Yes.
well. And she's been amazing. We'll definitely share Flick's details at the end and how you can get in touch and follow her and all that kind of jazz. But yeah, I'm very, very excited to dive into SEO because it's changed so, so much, right? But first,
Yeah.
why don't we just go like to basics, right? Obviously, for those, well, not obviously, if you're not sure what SEO is, tell us what it is, Flick, in layman's
Yeah.
terms.
So it's search engine optimization, which sounds a lot scarier than it actually does. I actually feel like it makes it sound even smarter, but it's fine. What it means is we're effectively helping your website or your main page show up on Google in front of the right people, and Google will recognize you or AI will recognize you as a legitimate source of truth. And SEO is creating structure within your web pages so Google can understand what your web page is about. I think that when we create a website, we forget that Google can't, or the back end of Google can't read your branding and your brand colors and things like that. It reads code. So SEO is effectively putting words in that will strip down to code that the robots can understand, the Google gods or the
Yep.
LLMs. Yeah.
Got it. So I know it's obviously a source of traffic too. Like if someone is typing in some sort of search term
Yeah.
that connects to your website, it helps bring people to your site for free. How good.
Yes.
However, it's also something that is, I guess, it's quite complicated. There's many layers to it, and it's not necessarily particularly easy to speed things up really quickly.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
my take on it.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah, it's a slow burn. It's you put the work in now, and then in like a month or 2 months you'll start seeing the return. But it is one of those things that you can't just switch it on today and light bulbs go off tomorrow. Um, and it's also, like you said, it's free marketing. Like when
Mm.
you go onto Google, you have the little links of the brands that you're going to choose from, which ones you like, and that is essentially your first point of contact with SEO too. We can rewrite those meta descriptions and metadata tags, which is what they're called,
Mhm.
to to be written for your audience so they can see whether it's going to be beneficial or not for them. So yeah, it's free marketing, free advertising, which no one should ever give up.
Yeah.
Um, and the organic ranking of SEO is how we rank on page for certain words and keywords, so that say you are typing in where can I buy a fluffy hat, we've got a page all about fluffy hats, and you're going to get pulled to that page that we've written about fluffy hats to answer your query, which is the integration of copy. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that brings me to a question about blogging or blogs. I know 100 years ago, it feels like when I started my first business in the online space, that it was all about blogging. You've got to write lots of
Yeah.
blogs every week, full with keywords. Are they still relevant in today's world?
Yeah. So blogs are still there. They're still there, but they're not as relevant as what they once were in the terms of you have all these other pages on your website that are your money pages. So your service page, your product page that's actually pulling revenue into your business. My strategy is to always focus on those pages first to make sure that they are shifting properly and they're in front of the right audience. Spend time on those first and then your blogs. Think of your blogs as your support piece to your actual what you're actually trying to do on your website. And another thing with blogs is people will write one blog on trees, and then they're going to write one blog on how to bake a cake. It's not cohesive. We need to have like a pillar topic and then build off 12 blogs that are all going to link back to that topic, because then you become the source of truth about that topic and a recognized authority through Google and through LLMs, in the fact that that blog piece becomes the main hub of a spider web, and you've got all these little links that are all internally linked to each other and then off to your product or service pages. So blogs aren't dead. Keep blogging, but do it with purpose. Don't just pop out something that you think this could be good. Like think about it. Think about what people ask you, common questions, but also how you can link that to another blog page to create this
Mm,
little ecosystem.
I
That's
love
it.
that. And I just realized I
Yeah.
was doing blogging all wrong back in the
Yeah,
day. I
yours
was
were fun though. Very fun.
no, but for my fashion brand, it was very much
Yeah.
about, I know, and sometimes like really random things about
Yeah.
where to stay in Thailand, which hotels are the best hotels, which
Yeah.
has nothing to do with the products that I
Yeah.
sell.
But also don't X any of your blog content you've got. This gives me the heebie-jeebies when people do this. Just because something shifted doesn't mean you should delete the page entirely. Rewrite the page and then think about how you can grow off that page to those other topics. You
Got it.
can rewrite the data because that page has built up equity with Google and LLMs as that hero piece. So we don't want to lose that and be like, Vito, don't want to see you anymore, because that's also traffic to your site. The more
Sure.
traffic, the
Yep.
more trusted you are. Change your content. Don't be afraid to change content. That's
Okay.
a-okay. Improve it, change it, let it sit for a little bit, give it a few months, again, slow burn, and then go back and have a look. You should go into your Google Search Console to have a
Okay.
look how that piece of content is ranking and what
Yep.
queries it's pulling against,
Yep.
to see whether it's actually doing what you want it to be doing.
Awesome.
Is my
I actually really love Google Search Console. I know a lot of Google's software products are quite clunky, but it's always like quite fascinating to know
yeah.
what are people searching? Like, how did they find you?
100%. It's like being like a bit of a spy in someone else's brain. I really enjoy it. It's
Yeah,
like, yeah, it's really, it's good.
I love it. So, as we know ourselves as small business owners, and our audience, I'm sure, is in the same situation, we are busy. We have got 5,000 different things on our to do list at any given time. We have limited capacity in time and brain space.
Mm,
If someone And I mean, we should be focusing some of our efforts and attention on SEO. But if someone's got limited time, say they've got 2 hours a week for SEO, what are the main tasks they should be focusing on?
Yeah. Okay, so what I would say to you is you could run a free SEMrush report, just a free one to see what your site is doing.
Okay.
And that'll bring to light whether you've got any broken links or whether your those meta descriptions, the part that shows up on Google is over keyword limits and things like that. Um, so just run a little report just so you've got something in the back of your head to think. There's been a lot of times when people have thought my website's doing really well, and then you go onto it and there's 150 broken links. Even though they might not show up straight away, when people do start going through our website, they're going to get found eventually. And that's your UX experience. You're tainting that for the audience. We don't have buckets of attention anymore. We've got 7 seconds to just really make a good impression. And the moment you switch that off, it's going to leave a sour taste in someone's mouth.
Mm.
Um, so run a little report just to see what's happening, and then pick a couple of things if you wanted to think, what could I do myself? What can I outsource? What's going to take up too much time? Don't get overwhelmed. Just look at the things that are sitting in the top of the list. And then my next thing, I hope we haven't gone past 2 hours yet, but then I'd say look at those products and those landing pages that are the main hero products for you, that are
Mm-hmm.
going to bring in your revenue. Make sure that they're talking about what you do, who you do it for, and a next step from that page, whether it be a conversion or a form or where that's sitting on the page. And on those pages, also add a facts table in.
Okay.
So at the moment, we're finding LLMs and AI read and understand facts really easy because they are literally direct answer questions.
Got it.
And that is what the robots want to be hearing. They want to be knowing this is the question, this is the answer. That was really, really super easy to gauge. And popping those into each page. If you are a little bit savvy, I would suggest doing a schema code for those. So that's something that Google can generate for you based on that page area. If you just Google it, schema markup with Google. And then you pop that back in, because that's also reinforcing the code that's already in that page for LLMs and Google to read. And then internal linking. Has that product page been linked to the other pages that you might be wanting your customers' user journey to flow onto? And then look at your blogs after that. But definitely get those key conversion pages up to scratch before you
Yeah.
start getting busy on your blogos. They'll always be
Interesting.
there.
Yeah, interesting. You mentioned about the conversion on the pages. Something we did this morning in the mastermind is going through and each of the masterminds going into Shopify, using the Shopify agent and asking what are the top 5 converting landing pages or products in the last 30 days. So if you're not
Yeah.
sure where to start, you could certainly use a tool like that to give you some direction.
Yeah.
But yeah, to recap, if you are short on time, we've got first run a free SEM
Free
rush audit. And
audit. Yeah.
I have dabbled with that program before, and I think I still have a free subscription to get reports. It's kind of fun. Um,
Yeah.
but if you're the type that gets really fixated and goes down a rabbit hole, just give yourself some time, because yeah,
Yeah.
it's a beast of a system. So, but running that report, and that will flag the top priorities. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. It'll flag, and we're looking at your site health on there. Not just keyword rankings and stuff like
Hmm.
that. So looking at what needs to be fixed and what's working well,
Yeah.
essentially.
Great.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go in and look at those, optimizing those product pages, adding in some FAQs. The schema is like way over my head. But if you're capable of that, please do that. Otherwise, get someone like Flick to do it for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
And then internal linking is really easy. And I mean, even from a customer perspective, it makes their time on your website so much easier. If they land on a page and it's like, oh, this is cool. And then there's a link going, hey, if you like this, come and check out this, with an internal link. Like, amazing, right?
Yeah. And I think we find too, a lot of brands now, or maybe how we used to do website, the links would be down the bottom of the page. But
It is.
instead we need to push them higher,
Yeah.
because again, that interest that we have is wavering. And when you sit on your mobile and you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page, like you get to
Yeah.
the bottom and you're like, oh, what's for dinner tonight? You forgot
Exactly.
what you're doing.
Yeah.
So even when you do get to your blog stage, pop the links up higher, put
Yep.
it into a button instead of just an internal linking text to really give good direction on what is next or where you should be going next. We don't like to think ourselves. Let's think for
Mm,
our audience so they know what's the next move for them.
I love that. And don't just rely on your theme or whatever plugins you've got on Shopify in that section that's suggested other products. Like actually
Yeah,
include them in your product
yeah,
description, the links and the buttons, like you said.
yeah.
I think this is particularly important when you have a product that is sold out and you've got those back in
Mm,
stock notifications. Jump into the product description and add in some links
yeah,
to other collections and other similar products rather than just having
yeah.
one box, sign up here, the end.
Yeah. And on the products too, especially on Shopify, when you're creating new collection pages and things like that, I do find a lot of brands will just have bulk products without any copy.
Mm.
Don't be afraid to put some copy onto that page, add in a H1, add in some rich text, some H2s, just to let people know what that collection of products is about.
All about. Yeah, that's so
The
true.
more information you give, the better. And if people don't want to read it, they will just go past that little bit to go down to the products. But that's also helping your efforts on Google and throughout the LLM journey that you'll no doubt be going on with the rest of us.
Such a great tip. Such a great tip.
Yeah.
Now, we've touched on blogging and we've mentioned that no, it's definitely not a waste of time. You should be doing it, but there's got to be an overarching strategy or pillar, and they all sort of build in together for you to become the authority, I suppose, in the online space
Yeah.
for that particular thing. So, definitely blogging is another thing that we can add to that. 2 hours a week, if you've got it,
Yes.
to help win favor with the Google gods. Now,
Yeah.
the things that we can do, great. On the flip side of that, what are some of the biggest SEO mistakes that you see e-commerce brands make right now?
Yeah. So again, just going straight to that blog situation, thinking must add more traffic on my page to get more organic traffic or more leads. Um, it doesn't matter though if they land on your page and it's not actually what they wanted in the end,
Oh,
if that
okay.
makes sense. So say somebody types in a question and they end up on your website, but again the topic's not relevant to what you're actually selling.
Mhm.
That's going to be it's going to show that you've got a lead, but actually in the end that traffic's not useful for you in terms of conversions and
Yep.
revenue.
Yep.
So make sure that the content you're putting out there is going to serve your brand really well. Rewrite those pages that are
Yep.
the landing pages or the product pages that aren't doing enough first before you also go down the other path of adding more pages. Because people just leave them and think, I'll add something else. And then you've still got these other pages that aren't doing anything. Um, and then, yeah, about that, those collection pages, again, they're not lists. They can actually rank as well and work really well for you. Um, and yeah, go in and check your top 10 products or top 3 products, see what it's doing on your Google Search Console to see what queries you're coming up for, where you're sitting in terms of rankings on Google and your click through ranking. And then kind of you'll be able to mitigate and work out how to fix that page from there in terms of is it a copy realignment? Is it a UX realignment? And also, heat mapping is a really valuable tool. And
Mm.
Microsoft Clarity has a free heat mapping tool
All
that you
right.
can put into the back of your website to see where people are clicking off and on once they get onto a page, or where they're maybe getting stuck. And that's always a really good way to see what
Microsoft
your users
Clarity.
are doing. Yeah, Microsoft
Okay,
Clarity.
we'll
It's a
link that.
free.
Yeah, we'll link that in the show notes. I've never used that before. I usually would look at something like Crazy Egg or Hotjar or something like that, which is
Yeah, and it's
so
free, Microsoft Clarity, which is we
oh,
always love a freebie. Yeah, so I just think the biggest mistake e-coms brands will go to is not fixing what you already have.
mhm,
Give what you already have a good chance to just do its thing before you
yeah.
jump ahead and add 30 more pages.
And
Yeah.
I didn't realize that you could go in and edit an existing page. So if you have an existing page that perhaps maybe is bringing in traffic that doesn't really tie
Yeah.
into what you do, like, you could go in and rework it.
Yeah. 100%.
Okay. I thought like
Yeah.
once you'd published it, you'd have to like, ooh, leave it alone or,
No, no, no. And we've
um,
done a few of yours too, just so you know.
oh, there you
So
go. Thank you.
just some of the content that's just, or maybe as your brands evolve too, things have shifted or market pricing has shifted.
Hmm.
Content pieces, especially blogs, we really want them to become an evergreen piece of content in the
Yeah.
fact that we can set it there and we know that we don't have to change it. That's the goal. But if
Okay.
you do, we're just kind of fixing them to turn into
Got
those
it. Got it.
pieces of
So
content.
like
Yeah.
goal setting for 2024 blog post, like you could go in
Yeah.
and edit that. But what if do you have to
Yeah.
change the URL to say like a different year, or you'd leave the URL and
You
just edit the
you'd
copy on the page?
edit the copy first, give it a little bit of time to catch up, and then go in and edit the URL. Um, uh, do that. I'm not going
Okay.
to go to another path. I'm
No,
okay
that's right.
with going to try and do
That was
it.
probably a meaty question. But you could edit the copy on the page at least
100%.
to make
Yep.
it up to date. Awesome. Awesome.
Yep.
So how do you know if your SEO is actually working just beyond I'm ranking number one for polka dot dog jumpers in Terrigal, for example?
Yeah, that's good for you if you want to be doing that. I think the thing that you need to be checking in is that conversion metric around that page. So the money pages and kind of making sure they're working for you. So traffic that's actually converting instead of just getting clicks to and then nothing is happening off that page. So that's kind of one of the main ways to
Got it.
see whether your SEO is working. And that you're found for the things that you actually sell. So that you're getting found for the right
Right.
reasons.
So if I'm not
Yeah.
selling polka dot dog jumpers in Terrigal, there's probably no point ranking.
Probably don't. Probably don't try. And then if you are ranking for it, try and work out why on earth am I ranking for this and how
Yeah.
do I fix it? Because something's misaligned with the copy. Or maybe somebody said something about you somewhere and it's tied back and
Yeah.
something. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have a deep dive.
What about the incognito window? And I know we were chatting this about this before we hit record, but I know for a lot of people, they will search themselves in their own browser and say, look, I'm number
Mm.
one. Tell us about like what we should be doing instead.
Yeah. So Google has a memory, or I guess all computers have a memory. So the more that you do search something, the more familiar it is coming up with your search practices. But just because that works for you doesn't mean that it's going to work for me the same way. Um, and I think that's why we always say, like, the source of truth with Google Search Console and
Mhm.
Google Analytics to understand your actual user journey is really important to see what traffic is coming in, not
Mhm.
just what you've decided you're ranking for on your browser.
Got it.
Um, so always just double check on that because
Yeah. I know I've done this before where I've searched myself. I'm like, oh, that's great. I'm the number one, I don't know, e-commerce coach in Australia ranking
yeah,
on Google. But then if you go and open an incognito window and do it again, it looks something very different. And I know a lot of
yeah,
people seem to measure the success of their SEO by Googling themselves to see where they rank on the
on
page,
your own browser.
but they're not getting an accurate.
Yeah. So if you've got time, go into that incognito window, type in the phrase that you're looking for, even on your LLMs, go into your um, Chatty G or do a
Mhm.
free trial one instead of the account that you've already set up that loves you already so much and they're telling you to tell you just go take care of yourself. My Chatty G and my Claude always tells me go for a break. But go to a free trial one that doesn't know you and pop in a question that you are hoping will you'll get cited for, or the same with the incognito. Pop in a question that you're hoping you'll get cited for and just see where you are sitting in that measure of traffic.
Great. Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us about ranking in AI tools, LLMs like ChatGPT, Claude, etc. Like, what are we doing as brand owners to try and come up in search results there these days?
Yeah. So this has been a big one this year because the shifts have just been monumental and they just keep on coming.
Hmm.
Um, but funnily enough, in terms of SEO, if you're already doing so AI and LLMs actually built off SEO tactics, I guess, in terms of how you show up. So, as mentioned earlier, Google can't see your brand colors, same with LLMs. They can see your code and your copy, and they're looking for truth of sources and authority kind of pages and pages that have built up equity. So, to rank, we need to just be making sure that our content is essentially like a web. We're building ourselves to be known for this, and then we link to everywhere around that truth or that topic.
Okay.
And the more, the better that you put your content to, the more understandable your content is, even for a human to read, but especially for a robot to understand, the more likely you are to rank. So making sure you've got a H1 heading, only one per page, your rich text, your H2, your copy, a H3 if you need to, some more copy, and even those facts. As I mentioned earlier, AI loves
Yeah.
facts and LLMs love facts. So making sure that you've got those implemented on those strong pages that you need. I love facts, so I'll even put them in my blogs.
Can you give me an
Um,
example of what FAQs might look like? Maybe let's use the example of polka dot dog
yeah,
jumpers and Terrigal. Like,
yeah,
what would an FAQ be on that product page?
yeah. So let's say we'll talk about what type of fabric's being used. So what fabric do we use in our brand name jumpers? And then we'll talk about where the jumper is made. We'll talk about the sizing for that jumper. We'll talk about um, uh, if it can be machine washed.
Hmm.
Um, anything, anything that's to do with that piece of product that's going
Yeah.
to answer a question that your audience might have, um, is going to be in those facts. It's pretty much stripping down that product to understand it the best that it possibly can, into the robots to understand it the best that it possibly can. Um, I think, yeah, if that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Is there a particular way we should word it? Like, should we word it like as a question and then with the answer?
Yes.
Or, yeah? Okay, so
Word
it's
it
like,
as a
can I
question and
wash
then,
this in the washing machine? And yes, you can wash those polka dot dog jumper in the
yes.
washing machine.
Yeah. So a lot of my clients, I'll put up a facts section that'll normally lead with questions we get asked the most,
Hmm.
and then put in those questions with a really easy to understand answer. And then you can use uh, you can use Claude and Chatty G and all those places to help write the content, but you need to make sure it's humanized.
Okay.
I think we need to understand with LLMs, a lot of the content that it pulls from is on the internet already and it's already been created. When you feed the LLMs brand new content from your website, you're essentially giving yourself a gold star because no one's written that before. It's
Okay.
not it's not pulling from someone else's website to get that answer, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So while you can use Claude and stuff to help you, it's best to use it as a tidy up tool, write the content yourself and then put it through those other robots to tidy it up and things like that, instead of getting it to read, because the answers that it's going to give you have already been written off
Got
someone
it.
else's
Someone
website.
else's website. I see. I see.
Yeah,
Would
I
you
think I
pose
circled that wrong.
with the view of trying to come up in search listings in an
Mm,
L or AI tool? Would we also perhaps include some FAQs around, in our case study, should my dog wear a polka dot? Da, 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 or what are the benefits of wearing such thing? Like, so more
yeah,
sort of general, like why we would use this, or
yeah, benefit
why it's
led.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah, like benefit led, to help with that, or do you think that's just adding extra words on a page for no reason?
I think as long as the content makes sense,
Okay.
do it.
Yeah.
If you are writing it and you're like, this doesn't feel right, like
Yeah.
this I'm playing this, trying to play the system here, then it's not going to do anything. But in saying that, when you are writing that content, when you're, say you're ranking for that page and you've worked out what that page is about, so you've worked out your keywords around that page, make sure that we are putting in our keywords within that copy as well.
Fantastic.
So say we're saying the dog fleece, the pink fleecy jumper is going to be within that copy just
Hmm.
once or twice. It doesn't need to be every line. It doesn't need to be 50 times. It needs to be very organic and seamless, but make sure that we're reiterating the main topic of the page.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep. So filtering those keywords through the FAQs, but not in a
correct.
robotic sounding way or super repetitive sort of way.
100%. Yeah, that's the Google gods do not like that. Don't do
No. Okay.
that.
Interesting. Tell me, what are your most favorite SEO tools for someone, a small business owner that needs these things? I know we've chatted about SEM Rush, Google Search
Yeah.
Console, Microsoft, what was it called?
Clarity,
Microsoft
Microsoft Clarity.
Clarity.
Yep.
What else? What are some other tools that business owners should have in
Yeah.
order to start upskilling and becoming more familiar with their SEO?
Yeah. So there is a plugin called SEO Meta in one click, and that is a Google Chrome plugin. And you can actually pull that. So once you're on the page, clicking on that, the Google plugin, it'll actually pull up all of the keywords that the page is already ranking for. The H1 headings, what needs to be changed, what needs to be adjusted on that page, um, which is really helpful if you're down to the nitty gritty of each page. And then in terms of other platforms, I really say Google Search Console, Google Analytics, and SEMrush are my three favorite. Google Analytics is because of the user journey it can show you. So once they've landed on a product page, where do they go next? You can actually see that in your Google Analytics to see, are they going to a cart or are they going to another product? Which is really important. And yeah, as we mentioned, Google Analytics, Google Search Console, sorry, in your performance tab, just checking the last 3 months data, your clicks, making sure you tick on those. There's two extra boxes that you'll see once you go on there. Um, Make sure you've got those highlighted so you can see the queries that you're pulling up for and the number that you are sitting on those rankings. Um, and I think it's tricky because there are so many platforms out there. Knowing which ones are best is really hard. So don't overwhelm yourself or else you will spiral. I promise
Yeah,
you that.
yeah, I kind of spiral, and then I had like a number, and then one tool would tell me, whatever my website ranking, whatever was this, and something else, and SEMrush would be way lower.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is not
Pick one.
straightforward like SEO
Yeah.
in general. There's definitely certain things that I know even as a technical person, I can do myself, but there's a lot of things that are just even beyond like my
Yeah.
understanding. So if someone was like feeling like me, they're like, oh, okay, I kind of get some of that. I can do the FAQs, no worries. I can do a couple of blog posts
Yeah.
and I can add some internal links on my website. Tick, 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 tick. But
Hmm.
beyond that, I need help. What are some of the things
Yeah.
people should know before looking to engage in a service such as yours?
Yeah. I think you need to work out what your goal is, the very first thing that you do.
Hmm.
So what is the purpose of having an SEO person come onto your team, um, and having you both align on that topic. It's very easy to say, you do my SEO, thanks. But if you don't actually have some meaningful chats with that person, then you're both going to be misaligned, and then you'll both be like, why aren't we doing this?
Yeah.
Um, so definitely making sure before you hire anyone or look at that you're on the same path with strategy. Ask for a strategy first. Don't
Mhm.
just trust that they're going to do the right thing. SEO is tricky because I know a lot of people feel hesitant that the work is actually getting done because it is just
Yeah.
a leads and traffic situation. But if you're with the right strategist who can show you what they've done in a month, what's changed, that's a really meaningful thing, I think.
Yeah.
Um, and then, yeah, making sure that before you do engage, that number one offer is really clear so that content can be built up around that instead of having, I don't know, it's depending on the brand, it can be very tricky. Like an activewear brand is going to have 20 different products they want to sell.
Yeah.
But even seasonality wise, what are we pushing this season? What needs to be going out before the summer rush and things
Okay.
like that to make sure that you're aligned within that strategy. Um, and yeah, it's your offers need to be super clear. We don't want people to come onto the page and not understand why they're there. So
Got
yeah, I think that
it.
it's just
Okay.
clarity. Google
Yeah.
and LLMs love clarity. It wins overall. If you're not clear, then it's too confusing. They don't understand the main point of that page.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
love it. I know I've dabbled with different SEO helpers over the years and tried doing some of it myself and da da da. I've had some weird things. One of the weirdest things, which was really confronting, was I got an email from this
Mhm.
wedding directory page basically threatening me, saying, if you don't stop relisting your business as a coach
Mm,
on our wedding directory, we're going to bill you for the hours for constantly removing you. And I was like, what are you talking about? I've never heard of
yeah.
you before.
Oh my
I don't know
goodness.
what's happening. I have an SEO person. The SEO person says, oh, no, it's not me. I was like, well, someone's doing it. Like, I know there's
Yeah.
some really dodgy practices like that
Yeah.
around. I know when I
So
run, yeah, so talk to me about some of
yeah,
these like
they
dodgy
used to
directories and
be.
stuff.
Yeah, so there used to be the practice that, well, there is the practice of backlinking. And before we became internet savvy, you could literally go into any directory and pop your website down, and that's a backlink. And
Hmm.
Google loves authority. Authority, backlinking is a form of authority.
Yeah,
So you'd be on all these web pages, and then it's not actually even servicing your
helpful.
business, it's just
Mm.
backlinking to build up the authority. My take on backlinking is make it worth your while. Like go to somewhere you actually want to be connected to, because it also becomes really spammy. Like,
Yeah,
and then
definitely.
everybody gets, it's like a slippery slope. Make it, yeah. Oh,
I
I've,
know
I've,
I've seen some terrible
it's
things.
so hard to get off the directories too. I've worked with clients that
Oh,
have
right.
had people put them on, done a lot
5,000
of
directories.
backlinking work. Yeah, and then they're getting all this traffic, and it actually means nothing because it's in the
Mm.
middle of the ocean on the other side of the world and not here.
Yeah,
So, like, what's the
yeah,
point?
yeah.
Make sure, yeah, backlink, but just go for gold. Go for your golden backlinking links. So when I say that, I mean getting featured on other websites,
Hmm.
getting featured on newsletters, even on Instagram pages, Facebook pages. They're all a form of backlinking and authority. It doesn't just have to be on a web page.
Yeah,
Um, Guest speaking on podcasts is a good form of backlinking.
yeah,
There are
yeah.
so many ways to do it. It doesn't have to be on the yellow pages. We're off.
Yeah, yeah,
We're
yeah.
not,
I know backlinking is tricky because it does have such an impact, like the amount of quality backlinks
mm,
you have. I mean, maybe we should take a step back. Could you explain what a backlink is and why it's important for someone that's
yeah.
new to SEO?
So it's basically another website referencing your brand on your website, and that creates authority for your brand because somebody else has said, I back them pretty much. I
Okay.
support this business is good. I stand for what they're doing without saying any of that. Um, And yeah, there used to be a tactic of just popping yourself on a bajillion directories and you'd have all these backlinks, but they're all spammy backlinks and
Mm,
no one knew. But also, Google's really smart, right?
yeah,
They
figures that
know
out.
in the
Yep.
end, and they'll blacklist your website and your traffic will drop
Oh,
off and you'll be sad.
yeah.
And I guess this is also like the networking piece, why it's so important for business owners to network, because monetization of wanting to go into a directory that might be, I don't know, a really well known directory is going to cost you money. But the same equity could come from a partnership of someone that you've met at a networking event or something like that,
Hmm.
and using them to say, let's write a content piece together and actually add value to both audiences in a really organic way instead of just doing all the directories. Still do the directories that are worth
Yep.
your while,
Hmm. That are
but
relevant.
don't,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, backlinks is one of those, again, a brain buster because it's like, oh, I'm on a backlink. And I know I've been on other people's podcasts and then it's like, hey, 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 can you put a backlink to my page? And often you have to remind them a few times and
yeah,
do that. But I know even getting featured in PR or if you get
yeah,
nominated for a business award, side note, you usually have to nominate yourself and there's nothing wrong with
yes,
that.
yeah,
Go for
nothing
gold.
wrong at all.
Nothing wrong with that. Winning awards, getting notified, you're getting finalist in award, things like that. All great
Yeah,
ways to get backlinks. Yeah, it's a tricky thing, but the backlinks is hard
yeah,
because like not that many people are like, yeah, hey, come put a backlink on my website. No
yeah.
worries.
There are websites that will ask if you have an opinion about something, or say there's a topic of interest. I'm trying to live brain rack, but it's not coming to me. Um, they'll say we need to write a piece around um, hair care. Are there any
Mhm.
hair experts? And you can apply,
Oh
which
yes,
is a really
I
great
know who
way
you mean.
to. Um, I don't
Something about
know.
help a reporter out. Is it
Yeah,
Haro?
yes.
Haro, I
I
think it's
think
called
I
now.
think
Help
there's a
I report out.
few.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Where you
Maybe
can
we could
actually
put
pitch yourself
those.
as an expert and yada yada. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Um, I'll have a look and you can pop them in the
We'll
show
pop
notes.
them in the
But
show notes.
um,
We'll find them. We'll find them,
yes.
listeners.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Um, yeah, I mean, I know I get a lot of emails in my inbox going, "Hey, can I write an article for your website with a backlink?" No, I just
Yeah.
delete them. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. I get them too. And I'm like, I do this for work. Let me let me do
Yeah.
my own.
Yeah, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. But no, it is definitely one of those tricky things. I've run SEM rush reports before, like on competitors, and like, how come they've got so
Yeah.
many backlinks? And then I'll go in and have a look at their backlinks, and it is on like the most obscure, random, which looks like
Yeah.
paid directory that is purely set up to be this SEO, like black
Yeah,
hole
there
of,
are so many of them. It's
yeah, it's bad.
just, I would just say stay away.
Yeah.
Don't do it to your business because it's so hard to undo. It might feel like it's like back in the day when Instagram was going haywire and you'd buy followers. It's
Oh,
exactly
yeah.
the same piece.
Got
It's
it.
like it feels like a good idea and you're like, I've gained the system it'll bite you in the butt 100%. So
I've just
just
done an
yeah.
episode, last week's episode on Instagram. Just recently did a big clean out and deleted all of the bot accounts and any inactive
Yeah.
accounts. And there was one particular day that celebrities, like Kim Kardashian, but even Instagram themselves lost millions of followers because they all
Oh my
just
gosh.
disappeared. And I've just done a whole podcast episode, so do go back and listen to that. Yeah, as
Yeah.
like why? I mean, it's not helpful having all these fake followers or being listed in a fake directory doesn't help. And Instagram,
Well, it's that revenue piece, isn't it? It's the
yeah,
conversion to revenue at the end of the day. The bots
yeah.
aren't going to help your revenue.
No, and the
It's not.
Instagram bots aren't going to engage on your posts. And then all of a sudden you've got 100,000 followers and you're getting 5 likes on your posts, and people aren't silly. They're like, well, that isn't happening.
Whoa. Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty obvious. So yeah, okay. Look, I love SEO. Like it's one of those things that I wish, and I've tried, but busy business owner, all the things. Like I
You
love
so
to
many
dedicate.
buckets to fill up, isn't
Hey,
there? There's so many buckets to fill up as a business
I
owner.
know,
It's
I
like,
know.
how do you even like, yeah, even
Yeah.
my own blog and stuff. I am like, I need to do my blog, but because I'm up to blog buckets, but I'm so busy. I'm doing everyone else's blogs. It's a business owner, right? You just,
Yeah. Yeah. No, I hear you. I mean, I love it. And I think it's fascinating, but also
yeah.
there's that time limit and capacity on time and brain space, which is why I have you helping me with mine. So thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for helping
Thank
me.
you. Thank you for
Look,
having
we
me.
will list all of Flick's information and any of those tools that we chatted about to help you get on going. And maybe Flick and I can offline craft an example FAQs of
100%.
using our case study, and we'll list that in the show notes as well, so you can
Yeah.
sort of see it and visualize it
Yeah.
and get that practical takeaway of like, oh, okay, I know what they're talking about. So we'll craft that. But thank you so much for being here. But before we wrap up, we've got to do the two truths and a lie. Now, remind me,
Yes.
give them to me again.
Okay. Number one, I've run a marathon.
Hmm.
I do springboard diving every week,
Hmm.
and I used to work as a flight attendant for the royal family.
Oh, I
I
feel
know.
like the royal family thing might be true because I feel like we had that Middle East expat connection.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, don't tell me
Fine.
yet. Um, I
Maybe.
feel like the diving is a bit of a stretch. Not that I know you well, like, and the marathon, like it sounds like my worst nightmare, but I know for a lot of people running a marathon is like a real life goal, not mine.
Mm.
But so I'm gonna go the diving's the lie, and the other two are truths.
So, no, I've run a
Oh,
5K and then I never ran again. I was like, oh, I'm done. I've ticked it off. I actually do springboard diving every week
stop.
as a brain break because no one can talk to me. Kids can't talk to me. My emails can't talk to me. I did it when I was a very young gal.
Got it.
And then I found an oldies class and we go in there and we just jump around and flip flop. And I was a flight
Stop
attendant
it.
for the royal family. Yeah, previous life.
I
Yeah.
thought the Middle East connection in the Middle East, was it?
Yeah, yeah, in the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
UAE. Yeah, yeah.
Um, spring. I can't even picture it because it's not
Don't
something that
don't
would.
picture it. Don't picture it. Whatever you do.
I live on the Central Coast. For those that are listening, I'm about an hour and a half north of Sydney. I don't think we have anywhere that does diving like springboard.
Yeah.
So I can't visualize it. But please, Flick,
No.
you need to send us some photos or videos of you doing this so we can share it.
No one deserves to see that.
I want to see it. I need proof that this is the truth. No. Well, thank you so much for being here. It's been my
Thank
pleasure
you.
having you, and thank you for sharing all of your
Thank
knowledge
you.
and insights into all things SEO.
Thank you so much. Thanks,
Thanks,
Jody.
Lick. Bye,
Bye.
everyone. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Online Store Success with me, Jody Minto. If you loved it, please share it with your friends on Instagram and tag me at I am Jody Minto so I can say thank you. And if you really want to make my day, please go ahead and leave me a review on Apple Podcasts and give me a follow. If you'd like my help in starting or scaling your online store, be sure to check out my free resources and programs at jodyminto.com. Thanks again, and same time, same place next week. Bye for now.